we want to cause an epidemic to where it's the thinking that was expressed by Rodney Hinton be our thinking. Now that's
Okay, it's a dope ass ring.
most of us think like this, especially in this room. But how many of us have the courage to carry it out?
I wonder what that is in his hand. Somebody just slid him a business card. Also, this needs to be. I had that exact same schmuck. I wouldn't even call that a keffiyeh. I believe a proper keffiyeh, Palestinian style. It could be either red and white or black and white. This is more like a SAS, British Special Forces type shamach. But either way, dude is kitted out. Very, very good discipline with his weapon. And he has the patch. This is the Black American Heritage Flag. One thing that black people are really, really good at producing in this country is flags. Why are we good at producing flags? Well, 100 and something years ago, there was a song that was called Every Race Has a Flag But the Raccoon. You take the first few letters off of that and you have a racial slur for black people. But this racist was basically mocking the fact that black people in this country did not have any flag. It also demonstrates the fact that we have never really been considered American in this country. Like anybody else will say, "Oh yeah, they've been here forever. They came over right after the fucking May. Well, they were brought over right after the fucking Mayflower. Their flag is the American flag." No, the key thing to understand about Black Americans is that we have never really been considered like full-fledged Americans, even though we fought, we've bled, we've died for this country in its many, many horrible and stupid wars. Mind you, like really the only two good wars that this country has fought were the Civil War and World War II to liberate the world from fascism. Even though the United States was practicing fascism at home. Did you know that the U.S. Army in World War II was literally segregated? Like, if you watch those World War II shows from the early 2000s, Band of Brothers, The Pacific, all of that, haven't you noticed that like there are no black soldiers depicted? Because except in a very, very few instances, like the 761st Tank Battalion, I believe it was, under Patton, and the Tuskegee Airmen, we were not allowed to fight. They did not trust us with guns. Malcolm X actually got out of the World War II draft by going into the psychiatrist's office when his number was called and saying that he wanted to be armed so that he can go down south and wage guerrilla warfare against white people. Anyways, so yeah, black people have a lot of flags because they used to mock us because they thought that we didn't have any identity as a nation. They thought that we did not have any identity as a people. They thought that we were just people that stood outside of history, I believe was the term that Hegel used. That's really why I don't fuck with Hegel. I really don't fuck with any European philosophers. Shit's a fucking headache. All they do is yap and yap and yap. The point of philosophy is to interpret the world. The point of Marxism, revolutionary Marxism, Leninism, Maoism is to change the world. So if all you do is sit up and yap and yap and yap and don't know what you're talking about, you hole yourself up in a fucking filthy garret apartment and just write trash. Yeah, I'm not gonna read your shit. Do I think if Derek Chauvin gets pardoned, Minneapolis was going full on revolution? No, because the revolution requires a revolutionary communist party, and we do not have this in our country yet. So, if Derek Chauvin gets pardoned, he's still going to be in jail. Like, it would just be a publicity stunt because he still owes the state of Minnesota 22 and a half years of state time for what he did. So, yeah, he's not getting out. But it will definitely be a long, hot summer. Like I've said before on several occasions, this fucking country is just like it. All of these contradictions are boiling over. All of these contradictions are boiling over. So it's definitely going to be a long, hot summer. There are definitely going to be riots and uprisings, large and small. There's definitely going to be more and more attacks on police, as there should be. So shit's gonna be interesting. That's why I'm consistently leaning on people in DSA to like not thoroughly abandon reformist tactics because tactics can be used in the service of revolutionary strategy, but a lot of these people think that the revolutionary strategy is reformist tactics. Many of these people don't know the difference between tactics and strategy. So that's why political education is extremely important. That's why my caucus, Liberation Caucus, is very, very heavy on political education, because it is a crying fucking shame that we have people in the largest socialist organization in the United States who do not know what socialism, revolution, or imperialism are. So, working step by step to change that. Oh, hi, Mark. Speaking of Mark, I've finally been able to like break myself from being glued to a computer screen, playing Armor Reforger. Got tired of getting smacked. The funny thing though, I was in a server with an Iraq veteran, and he saw me using guerrilla tactics, like creeping through the bushes, like avoiding the road and shit like that. He's like, huh, that's Haji shit. Haji is a slur that they use for that Iraq and Afghanistan war veterans use for Muslims. He's like, that's Haji shit. That's guerrilla shit. Were you over there? Were you in Iraq? I'm like, no, I was too young for Iraq. I'm just a communist that reads a lot of guerrilla theory. And he did not like that very much, so he shot me. Anyways, but yeah, dude's outfit is dope. Another question. I was told by another fellow UC UCYDSA member that the same organization that held this town hall supports the Burkina Faso army, which led a massacre on the Fulani. I'm not aware of any massacres on the Fulani that were committed by Ibrahim Traore's army. That would be very unfortunate if true. I do know that that some jihadists or other similar nasty people seized control of a military base in the east central part of the country. But yeah, Burkina Faso is between a rock and a hard place, because not only does it have imperialism to contend with, but it also has a variety of homegrown and foreign jihadist elements that love dipping back and forth across the borders, doing all types of weirdo shit. So, yeah. But on the other hand, massacres of innocent people are totally undefendable.
How many of us?
So who is this fella? This is Moja Ajabu. But look, every black revolutionary organization supports Ibrahim Traore. Why does every black revolutionary organization support Ibrahim Traore? Because Ibrahim Traore is continuing, in many people's eyes, the revolutionary legacy of Thomas Sankara, the revolutionary legacy of Patrice Lumumba. Look, the primary contradiction in Africa is the fact that Africa is not in control of its own resources. So anybody that addresses this contradiction, you ever wondered why South Africa is so fucked up? Because Mandela was too busy establishing Truth and Reconciliation Commissions, which did do some very important work. And trying to make nice with the boards and receiving Nobel Peace Prizes, instead of addressing the primary question: who has the resources and who has the land? You cannot have peace with colonizers. You cannot have peace with people that hate you. You cannot live in peace with an executioner. There's been too much bloodshed between these various groups of people in South Africa, courtesy of the Boers. So, yeah. Can't have peace. No peace without justice.
Have the courage to carry it out. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, but see, when we start seeing each other as brother and sister, then if it's your child, it's mine too.
Okay, so a call for rebuilding community.
We're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I think it's definitely spitting. That's also really close to the original Black Panther Party uniform. The original Black Panther Party uniform was leather jacket, black pants, black beret, of course, black shoes, and blue shirt. So, dude knows his history. Maybe he was an original Black Panther. Who knows?
And right.
Nelson Mandela was also made an honorary UAW member while still being on the terror watch list. That is true.
Has showed us. And we gonna support him. Now they talking about killing him.
Yeah.
You talking about the wall.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, no. We gonna tear it down.
Without there being a price. But see, we don't want to riot. We want to have a military strategy that we bring them to their knees.
We gonna dig in their pocket.
Well, we gonna dig in their grave.
He was a Black Panther commander-in-chief for Indiana, I think. Interesting. He said we're going to dig him a grave. The brother in the back said we're going to dig in their pocket. He said we're going to dig him a grave.
Did y'all hear what I said?
Shout him out.
Yeah, see, killing, stop killing.
Killing stop. This guy has a, and here's the thing with these various Black Panther groups. A lot of them, really the only one that I've seen that upholds revolutionary intercommunalism is the Revolutionary Intercommunal Black Panther Party, hence the name. But a lot of these groups are, yes, extremely problematic. Like there's major issues with misogyny, Mactivism, all types of fucked up shit. You also have a lot of anti-Semitic, black Hebrew bullshit. A lot of these brothers just like guns. A lot of these brothers just want to do something to help the communities. So definitely United Front material. But would I join any of these groups? It depends. Maybe I can help provide political education because a lot of these guys don't know. So political education is eternally important, no matter what organization you're in.
Did y'all hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
Now, if y'all come in here looking for me to be playing, I ain't playing. You're killing, stop
Oh, what's up, James? Well, Truman, how you doing?
killing.
Did your parents literally name you after Harry Truman?
And if you ain't ready for the killing, then you in the wrong place.
Hey, why DSA comrades from Cincy? I see you. University of Cincy. I interviewed one of y'all last week.
Yeah, you in the wrong
BRG fans.
place. The killing, stop killing. And we got to be honest. When that war break out, and it's already done broke out.
Why don't people in DSA talk like this? I'm the only person in DSA that talks like this.
It just ain't escalated to where it's that we understand and
We at war now.
truly that it, yeah, by all means.
We all,
But when we understand and start responding like
Liberation Caucus talks like this.
we need to respond, it's going to cost some of our lives. The cost of freedom is lives. Now. And the key of the lives that it costs is that it be there.
There's some chairs over here, y'all.
Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready?
Did your parents name you after the president? That's the most Missouri shit ever.
Yes. Yes.
Let me ask
Sick
one
and
more
tired of
time.
being tired.
Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay.
One white dude just sitting there. He's a reporter. It's like, shit's getting a little swifty, boys. And this is my favorite part. This is hilarious. The YDSA comrades handled this very well. I give y'all that.
Who are y'all?
Who are y'all? I just love the way he said, who are y'all?
UC students, we're part of the Young Democratic Socialists of America.
Hey, I see Max.
A couple of us were at the rally today.
See now, see this is how you do that. See, they can get in some places that we can't.
Anybody, like your average social democrat in DSA would have literally gotten up and left or tried to argue with dude. Y'all played it off. That's dope.
Good at it. I'm really good at it.
I'm just saying. You understand what I'm saying?
These white folks sat their ass down and listened. Good job, comrades.
Even though people that we discussed it with look like them.
The people that are doing these horrible things, I don't think, reactionaries have a phenotype. These do not look like reactionaries. Reactionaries don't wear keffiyeh.
They more than likely don't act like them. You understand what I'm saying? That don't mean that we keep our eyes closed. I'm just saying. And I'm look, if y'all can't handle the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth, you're in
DSA can learn a lot from these young comrades.
the wrong place.
Y'all aren't getting offended. Y'all are just sitting there. Y'all are taking it. Y'all are taking your licks. He's trolling y'all, obviously. Because, like, this guy's obviously a consummate showman, but, yeah, very, very well done.
Well, I ain't gonna pull no cards. Can I get an amen? Amen. I ain't gonna pull no cards.
A white guy asked for more details on the Black Panther movement's future plans. Let's see.
Now and don't be talking about what's legal. Talk about what's right.
Don't talk about what's legal. Talk about what's right. Very good. See, if DSA would actually work in coalition with groups like this and get its shit together ideologically and politically, like this guy could be convinced to join us. We need people like this. We don't need any more AOCs. We don't need any more social democratic Twitch streamers. We do need more Maoist Twitch streamers. I would like 1,000 of me. But like, these people do nothing. These people provide nothing to the movement. Building personal clout and prestige for AOC, that's not revolutionary work, as I said yesterday. That little short 7-minute video I did has apparently been making the rounds in various DSA caucuses. Good. Hopefully I'll draw the right conclusions from it. But this is the type of person that we need in DSA.
Now
we need white homies that can hang out with nerds, hood gorillas, and 1% bikers all on the same weekend. That is true. Like the elder said, those kids, white comrades, should get in the places that we can. The job of the white revolutionary in the United States is to wreck and fuck up the system from the inside. Your job is not to ensure that the people who make bombs and missiles and guns and other dangerous things that kill our comrades overseas are paid well. That is not your job. That's what yellow unions do. That's social fascism. So enough of that. Your job is to throw a wrench into the workings of the system and make it so that the ruling class cannot rule in the old way. If you cannot do that, or if you ideologically are opposed to doing that, you are useless at best and an open, visceral enemy at worst. The guy that asked the question is my buddy who got arrested by the campus police for arguing with a Bible thumper on campus.
I was just curious, like, what's the plan?
YDSA co-hosted an event when Marcellus Williams was executed. Reached out to the groups after, but they never replied. Yeah, it happens. A lot of people don't trust DSA, and DSA has too many white people for them. So yeah, they don't. Building trust is hard, but revolution is hard. We're not here because we're on the fucking primrose path. We're not here because we're lotus eaters. We're here because we realize that if we do not make revolution, like Rosa Luxemburg, her slogan was socialism or barbarism. Now our slogan should be socialism or extinction. Like, we are in a lot of trouble as a species. We are in a lot of trouble as human fucking beings. And if we don't get our shit together, we're done. Finito. Fini. And I don't know about y'all, but I like living. Humans have done some pretty dope shit. We put people on the moon. And I don't want us to go extinct. That's why I'm a communist. Bit of an ignorant question, but how do you throw a wrench into the system effectively? Use your privilege to help stop the imperialist system. Use your privilege in the service of black and brown and indigenous and Palestinian people. Be creative. If you see somebody being fucked with and you are in a position where you can intervene without getting both you and them killed, do it.
Plan going forward, what's the next steps? Like, what are we going to discuss at the meetings? Like, or like,
see, that's not
as far as
what you
getting
know.
Red Satire, are you not American? Like, Americans know that Cincinnati exists.
as far as getting involved?
No, there's a role that you can play. No, don't get it twisted.
Don't go to a movement event hosted by a group of black people that have guns as a white person and ask, what's next? Don't do that. If they wanted you to know, they would tell you. You haven't built any trust yet. Error on the comrade's part.
But what are we gonna do? That ain't none of your business.
I should just start watching socialist and communist interventions in town halls and like critiquing them. Line by line commentary.
But, I mean, yeah, but like...
Organize the apology.
That's a role you can play.
Those dudes with the feathers in their hats, those are black people. Well, everybody in the United States, like every ethnic group in the United States has like these weird people. Like you have the Mormons for white people. Then you have these are not Hebrew Israelites, I don't think. They're some type of pretendian group. They basically believe that black people are the real indigenes of the Americas. And they always wear the little feathers in their hats. They always have this little fake ass wish indigenous-y regalia. It's hilarious. They're harmless usually, but well, I wouldn't say they're harmless because they are harmful to indigenous comrades who are trying to defend their lands and ceremony, and it's offensive, extremely offensive for somebody from an outside group to come in and try to arrogate badly, mind you. Like I'm pretty sure indigenous people do not wear do rags and, and random feathers. Like you literally went down to Party City. Is that place even still open? You literally went down to the fucking Dollar Tree and got a bag of costume feathers and stuck them all in your do rag. Like indigenous people do not wear this shit. What is this? No indigenous nation I've heard of. I have a whole ass book of all indigenous nations behind me. I've never seen picture or painting of indigenous person dressed such. The dudes with the feathers called y'all Democrats. Well, I mean, to be fair, it is in our name, Democratic Socialists of America. I mean, it's pretty easy for an unschooled person to hear Democratic and think it means affiliated with the Democratic Party. We've had that same issue in St. Louis. Jesus Christ, why are you yelling at me? You don't have to type in all caps, bro. Blood in my eye. Right here. That's what you should start with. Turn your caps lock off.
They don't want black people. Listen. I used to be commander-in-chief. Watch this. I used to be commander-in-chief for the Black Panther militia in the state of Indiana.
Okay, so not the Black Panther Party, the Black Panther militia. That was pretty reactionary group that was around in the 90s. So that's his history.
Back in the early 90s, from 90 to 95. And I had some white folks who said, man, we want to help. I said, okay. There was a Klan meeting.
Man, right.
And there's getting ready to be a Klan meeting. And when is it coming up? Here in a couple of weeks?
I love how people think that the Klan is like a unified organization. Like there's dozens of these batches of drunk rednecks. Literally all they do is go out in the woods with shitty regalia. Some of them even wear military fatigues. They go out in the woods with shitty regalia, most of which is made out of acrylic material. They go out there and they burn crosses. I have a book about it. It's called Everything You Love Will Burn. This Norwegian reporter named Vegas Tenold, he followed them around. Like he hung out with various fascist groups. Matthew Heimbach, if you've ever heard of him and his Traditionalist Workers Party. Well, he org hopped a lot. He also tried to take over Jeff Shape's National Socialist movement. But either way, Heimbach is hilarious. But yeah, he basically followed these people around, and they don't even know how to burn a cross correctly anymore. Like you had an old head in the Klan that was literally having to offer these kids advice on how to burn a cross without burning themselves, or letting the fucking regalia catch on fire, and they'd be rolling around like those idiots in Red Dead Redemption. Anyways, so yeah.
The Klan meeting is 16. Infiltrate.
Same day as the hearing?
Put your round
Man, this is far more entertaining than an average DSA meeting.
Everything about the dates to pay.
But this is what they were talking about.
This dude is fucking hilarious.
What are you doing? Y'all got the right to bear arms too. Where y'all at? I agree on
Yeah, y'all are really the only ones that can bear arms without getting shot. So I'm still fucking obsessed with this dude's rig.
You asked what's the next step? We done told you how to step.
You're going to be going to the KCDSA General Chapter meeting for the first time, and it's probably going to be boring as shit. Yeah, most DSA meetings are boring as shit. I'm not going to even lie to you, because I don't lie. But yeah, most DSA meetings are going to be boring as shit. There's a lot of procedural shit. DSA attracts a lot of wonks. People that like cleaning up email lists and list work and making spreadsheets. That shit's boring as hell to me. I'm literally on the executive committee of my chapter. So I'm like mandated to attend these meetings. Executive committee meetings bi-weekly. And yeah, most of the time it's boring as shit. And yes, I also, as somebody with very, very heavy ADHD, I definitely relate.
And if you want to step like that, we ain't mad at you. If you want to step a different
Well, it's still important work. You can find it boring as hell, but like it's still important work.
way, that's your
Not everything involves running around with guns and yelling at Klan and cops. That's the fun, sexy work.
business.
But for every bit of fun, sexy work, you also have the boring, tedious work.
But you ain't gonna come up in here and get a little out of there.
Oh, little comrade took it well.
Know how we gonna step? We gonna step. And if you stepping with us, then you play your role. If you don't play your role,
This is basically the same type of advice that this is exactly what Kwame Ture would have told him, by the way. Like Kwame Ture, Malcolm X, they were big advocates of black people and white people working together. But like thing is, we really do not have any white organizations, militant revolutionary white organizations to work with. Like, where's your John Brown at? Where's your Preacher Man Fesperman? Like, people like that really aren't around anymore. Maybe like locally, yeah. Antifa groups, sure. But like, there's no real big national organization of white people organized along the lines of the Black Panther Party. There is hope for Appalachia, I think.
then shit.
If you stepped off.
Say that again.
If I don't know, how can I?
I done told you. I done told you. You ain't gonna know what we. See,
Just show up to the kill white meetings.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. See your daddy.
I don't know about that. Well, I never.
He said, I don't know my dad.
Your great dad.
He's like, he just flat out said, bro, I'm a fucking bastard. I don't know what you're talking about.
Whether you know him or not. But your daddy, the
That was hilarious. Let me see that.
Say that again.
If I don't know, how can I?
I done told you. I done told you. You ain't gonna know what we. See,
Just show up to the kill white meetings.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Also, it's fun. It was funny as fuck, but that is really, really disrespectful. Like, don't go to a meeting that's majority black and get smart with black elders.
Wait a minute. See your daddy.
I don't know about that.
Well,
I never.
Your great dad. I don't care whether you know him or not. But your daddy, the older white males, they don't rank it for you, man. It's hard to trust you. I agree. Yeah, we.
He said that basically the old heads among white people done ruined it. Like, it's hard to trust you. That is true. Shit, even some of the younger people. Shit, even some of the people in fucking DSA, the way they move, they make it hard to trust them.
Work with you, but trust it. That's a little hard.
Trust like that is not freely given.
I would say, that season rules that we can't get. It will,
But that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you.
Like,
like
But-
in
but-
the university, we have access
But
to
see
the
now,
university.
but we ain't gonna stay here. We done told you the role that you can play. If you want to play it, go up in there Friday and then come back and tell us what they say.
Yeah, be a spy. You troll the shit out of little dude. Oh, let's see what the Pretendians have to say. No, Pretendian, Hebrew Israelites, maybe a mix of both. Dude has a big ass fucking Moses staff.
Here in America would be that a lot of us
No, you do not need to learn from Richard Aoki. Richard Aoki was a snitch.
are already naturally here. You know that we don't know Africa. We know America. You know what I mean? And our
Bro, this is a meeting about a guy who's literally being dogged out by the police. Like, why do you all always show up dressed like, why do you all always show up with this dumb shit? Nobody's taking y'all seriously. Y'all look like y'all can't even decide if y'all are Hebrew Israelites, Chemitists, Moors, or Pretendians. Why did you do that?
ancestors, like
God, I can't stand gingers, even black ones.
through oral tradition, though, we've been
All gingers are bad. Never trust a ginger, even black. The only ginger you can trust is Malcolm X.
told that we were Aboriginal. You know what I mean? And that's what we're fighting for. Like we've been tricked. We've been taught that we're African, so we've been tricked out of our inheritance, right?
What's up, Max?
If we're told that we're African, you know, and we're actually American, like original Americans, then that means they would trick us out of our inheritance here in America. You know what I'm saying?
Can I be really honest with you? And how old are you, young man?
I'm 31.
31. I'm 76. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm getting ready to be real, just truthful. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck America.
Yeah. Let's see if Unc like literally puts his foot up his ass. Oh, look at the little white ESA kids clapping. Yeah, bro. Fuck America. Yay. So if real natives are 5-cent Indians, I guess these are the penny Indians? The copper-colored ones?
You know, I'm just saying. Right. You understand what I'm saying? See, now watch, young man.
Like, do you think that people are gonna join you? Why do you show up spouting that nonsense, bro? Y'all look crazy. You show up with those fucking costumes on.
And this is educational now. This is educational. Because see what we battling for, watch this. Can the elder get some difference?
I know Maxon is a ginger. I interviewed him last week.
A lot of brothers down in Florida that
Can the elder get some difference?
You motherfuckers don't even know what nation you are. Shut up.
We are battling for our minds. See, if we get our minds, then we'll get the behavior. But you got to understand, and history is clear. Even though we've been here for what?
400 years.
400 years, too long. We didn't start here.
It was on every land.
Yeah. We was here before we was brought here. We traveled here before we was brought here, before we was stolen.
It was already here.
Yeah, well, we
Literally every fucking revolutionary black political discussion is at risk. Like 7 times out of 10, it devolves into this type of woo shit.
We traveled here. You understand what I'm saying? But the
y'all are just sitting in the fucking corner like, fascinating, interesting. Yes, oh yes.
The bulk of us got here through the thievery of our people, our ancestors, brought here through the Middle Passage, enslaved.
And it's worldwide theft, period.
So this is the point that I'm trying to make. And then if you understand that this land is stolen.
From us.
Well,
From us.
From
our people. We are the Indians.
I'm not, let's not get into an argument and let's not, if I can just go where I'm going. If I can go where I'm going. I'm saying that the land that where we're from is the African continent, and that the brothers that have taken the land on the African continent that's got all those resources, that we're in touch with them. Saturday, I will be doing an interview with the brothers over in Burkina Faso.
Ooh.
Ibrahim Traore, who's got the same...
Wait, he's about to interview Ibrahim Traore? Huh. The fella's got some clout.
...attitude that Rodney Hinton has, that we have. And what is that attitude?
Sick and tired.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And they done picked up the weapon. Yeah, they have.
Forget about my man over there.
Yes, sir. They done picked up the weapon and they done took the land. Now understand, the key to everything, all life, is land. Right. If you don't have no land, you ain't doing nothing.
Wow. Only thing that was needed in this motley assembly were like leftcoms.
And
excuse me, but that's literal Nazism. You cannot say that. Nobody really has inherently any right to any land.
We've got got land, and then you
The land belongs to the entire international proletariat.
can make an argument that, okay, we came over here and we migrated from Africa and we found.
Probably the only compelling evidence I've seen, there's a theory that the guy that ran the Mali Empire after Mansa Musa, or before, I can't remember which, I need to reread. But there is like somewhat compelling evidence that one of the Mansas of Mali did try to organize like a fleet of giant canoes to traverse the Atlantic Ocean. And there's a variety of weird conspiracy theories. There's this guy named Ivan Van Sertima. He puts out a lot of crazy shit, but like people think that the Olmecs in Mexico or were African, or various weird conspiracy theories that the original Arawaks or Caribs or all these various groups that the Spaniards encountered when they hit the Caribbean were originally black Africans, and that's woo bullshit. But yeah, I do. It's pretty. It's not all that far fetched that one of the monsters of Mali would have been like, I wonder what is across the great water. We should send a fleet.
Found this land, it was us. And you can make that argument. But there's other people who say that they were here, that history bears witness, and you can say that that's us, but it don't line up. It don't line up. But
y'all should be talking about Rodney Hinton, not this stupid, crazy woo shit. Every fucking convo regarding what to do about our fucked up situation in this country ends up reverting into this stupid, irrelevant shit. Like, what race were the original Egyptians? My brother, we are original Kemetians. We are Moors. We are not really citizens of the United States. The United States has no power over this. Wesley Snipes listened to those fucking idiots, and he ended up in jail for tax evasion.
But yeah, it don't line up. But this is the key. We don't have to get in the woods on all of that. It's clear that we came from Africa. It's clear. And it's clear that God gifted us that land.
Well, that black ginger over there, some of his ancestors came from Scotland, obviously. Womp womp.
The people that look like us. And if we can control that, we don't have to worry about no other land in the world. That will be plenty, more than enough. Can I get an amen? Amen. Yeah, so that's where we're going to go.
They're pissed. And the white reporter says, I'm sitting my white ass down and listening.
Like he was saying that just because we might have, I know I'm not from Africa. That don't mean that I won't.
Why are you still saying, bruh? What are those beads around your neck? Why y'all want to stuck feathers? This is not. Go to a res and see how the people there dress. Go to the res and see how people. You want to dress up like Indians? Go to the res. Go down to fucking Arizona, New Mexico. Go up to the Dakotas. The dudes up there, they wear jeans and boots and t-shirts. That's how people dress on the res. This isn't even ceremony. You got on what looks like an Army ACU backpack. You got an Army backpack. You probably got it from a recruiter that you went to before you washed out of basic training. You've got some country-ass beads around your neck. You got, what is all that shit on your headband? You've got a leopard headband. No, you got a leopard skull cap with a symbol you don't even know the meaning of on it. And you got a feather on it. Then you got a black hoodie. Then, dude, next to you, you've got a black do-rag. Or is that just a rag you've tied over your head with that headband? And you got a feather. You got a red beard. You got a boonie hat. Is this dude wearing a fucking tracksuit or a robe? Y'all just come out looking any type of way.
Fight.
Yeah, this is a fucking bro. Were there leopards in America? No, that's a cheetah. I don't know my big game animals, but African animal skull cap. What, bro?
That don't mean I ain't gonna help. Yeah, that don't mean, you know what I mean?
Y'all ain't gonna do shit.
That ain't gonna mean I'm gonna get down against the oppressor. So that's
And why y'all all got them fucking sticks?
And we ain't mad at you.
right. And my ancestors would mislabeled as black, Negro, same thing.
You are black Negro.
We ain't mad at you. We ain't mad at
We
you.
here.
And if you gonna get down,
We
you
gonna
know,
get down, whatever we gotta do.
then get down.
You know
You
what I
understand
mean?
what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
But I'm telling you, as the Black Panther movement.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
We are
Yes, sir.
Pan-African.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We understand.
And
Yeah.
we
Yes, sir.
ain't
Yes, sir.
trying
We here
to
with y'all.
do
Yes, sir. We
anything
here
with
with
America,
y'all. Yes,
because
sir.
we understand America is stolen land.
Yes, sir. We here
And
with
we
you.
ain't trying to benefit off
We
of
agree.
something that
We gonna
somebody
hear the
else
whole
wants.
earth.
We fighting the
But
same.
that doesn't
We
mean
fighting
we
the
can't-
same.
look,
We fighting the
the whole
same
earth.
beats.
Yeah,
Man, I would have loved to have been here. I need to get to Cincy.
yeah, but that doesn't mean that we can't work with
Right,
it.
exactly.
Especially, look,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man,
look.
right.
Listen to me.
Man, if Justice Democrats emails me one more fucking time, I don't even know how I got on that mailing list.
If you shoot straight,
Man, right.
watch this, and you shoot regular, and you're shooting at the people that we shooting at, you all right with that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen.
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 I say.
What's y'all's pizza like out there? I gotta know what the pizza is like before I visit a town.
Hey. All right.
Okay.
Oh, y'all got old school corruption. That's good. Corrupt cities always have the best pizza. And wrapping it
and
up.
what he's going through, right?
That's
So,
part of it.
in order to do that, wouldn't it be good if we could try to help to find out the name of the gentleman that needs to be?
Well, see.
So,
This is
that's
the
what I'm asking.
position that we take.
Okay.
We take the position that
Man, why do you say, people, how did y'all not fall asleep in this?
Rodney took.
Y'all got that old school corruption there. And it's not even Unc. Unc is spitting. He's even got a fucking bodyguard who agrees that he's spitting. But like, just the fucking weirdos in the audience.
Any of them would do. Yeah, any of them would do. Yeah, we wanted to stop. I bet if they come up missing, they're gonna, it wasn't me, it was him.
Man.
They gonna tell on him.
Facts.
Y'all are just like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Facts, bro.
Yeah, we ain't nothing out there. See. We ain't. Yeah, and if you ain't with that, see, this ain't for everybody. This ain't for everybody. And let's read it out. Yeah, we ain't with that. Fuck America. Yeah, fuck them. Twice. Yeah, we ain't with that.
So,
Yeah, so it looks like I ran out some of the white folks.
I gotta hear that again.
Yeah.
Because it's just the way he said this.
So it looks like I ran out some of the white folks.
Look like I ran out some of the white folks.
No, they have a meeting.
Oh, y'all had another meeting to go to. Yeah, y'all don't impress me as the type of people to get scared by discourse easily and just be like, oh, nope, fuck this.
Yeah. Look.
It's past y'all's bedtime. Max and y'all got a bedtime in YDSA Cincy? Aw.
I'm just saying. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we sick and
Honestly, if I had the choice between going to this meeting and going to a DSA meeting, I would go to this meeting.
tired. When we say we sick and tired, we sick and tired. We trying to embrace America? For what?
Look like I ran out some of the good white folk.
And don't be.
Yeah, so I wouldn't call it wasn't a shit show. Like, there was decent discourse had, but like some fucking weird ass discourse from the audience. If Henry VIII was around today, he would definitely be making angry videos in his vehicle. Like, there's no way. What do I think about Ibrahim Traore? We need to clone him, and we need to airdrop these clones into every single fucking country in Africa. You know why? Like, I don't dislike anybody because of the color of their skin. Okay, like I'm not fucked up like that. And racism isn't even about the color of the skin; it's about control. But like this shit, this guy isn't even a Boer. But this is how a lot of Boers think. If I were a South African farmer, I'd destroy my soil and equipment and knock down my... Like, why would you do this? You should be arrested at the airport and fucking shot for treason. How dare you? Like, y'all stole the land in the first place because, like, they're not even taking the land. The South African government is not even appropriating the land. Like, white people still own the majority of the arable farmland in South Africa. Our YDSA meetings consist of Maxon being a total dictator. I think I already have a link. The Black Panther movement, right? But like, yeah, just dirty, evil, weird ass fucking people. Like, why would you do that? What? And like, the funny thing is, Boer farmers feed South Africa like landlords house you. The Boers in South Africa, they do not plant, they do not reap, they do not harvest, they do not water, they do nothing but sit in their house and drink all day and go out and shoot animals. That's what they do. All of the productive labor in South Africa is done by the black majority. So why shouldn't the black majority have the land? You cannot make me hate Doechii. I'm sorry. You cannot. And 40 years ago yesterday, the first black mayor of Philadelphia showed the true colors of the black adjuncts of the bourgeoisie by bombing a black neighborhood in his own city. That's the ice axe that killed Trotsky. Do you have any idea like how many fucked up ass kids on the internet would literally kill for the opportunity just to hold this thing? Oh my God, I touched Trotsky's blood. Ow, 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 ow. Fuck. It's still sharp. But yeah. So the chief of police in Mexico City had it. Then for some reason, when the museum director retired, the police department gave him a murder weapon as a gift. And then he gave it to his daughter, and his daughter slept with Trotsky's ice axe under her bed. I could totally play Robert F. Williams in a movie. I'd have to wear a wig though, because of but I think I can match his energy very well. This is what I imagine YDSA meetings look like. No, I don't think they're Moors. I don't think Moors claim to be indigenous. I think they claim to be Moroccan citizens. I've been like the idea of making a video. I think I've already done a stream about the black Hebrew Israelites, but like just doing a deep dive into all these weird sects and cults and groups like the Nuwabians. The Nuwabians were fucked up. Like fucked up. Like I could just do a whole video on them, but yeah. Might be interesting, might get some engagement. This is the unity meeting and merger between all the left caucuses in DSA. 50% Hamas headbands? Jesus. I probably got a whole fucking dossier sitting on Trump's desk as we speak. I should do a DSA faction tier list. No, absolutely. These people are mad enough at me as it is. I already have enough unmedicated white people in my comments. I already have enough unmedicated white people QRTing me. I don't need any more. My mental health is important too. Jesus Christ, Maxon, your comrades are airing you out in chat. Apparently you're gay Stalin. What, go to a DSA meeting dressed like what? Dressed like him or dressed like this? Because right now I've got on fucking chubbies, a t-shirt, a flat cap, and slippers. I don't go out like this in public. People think there's something wrong with me.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
I don't know how old your mom is. I'm 30. I have never been a Gonzalowite. How do these people even know what a Gonzalowite is? Do I own Crocs? Yeah, they're over there. They're what I wear when I walk the dog. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim or whatever. Roommates. Me and who? Right, BRG. Left, average BRG fan. So let's find out some more about this this Black Panther movement. Look, these are the most well-fed refugees I have ever seen. I thought refugees are supposed to come in tatters. I thought refugees are supposed to come hungry. These people look like they have never missed a meal. These motherfuckers look like they eat, not fuck 3, they look like they eat 30 meals a day. These are not refugees. These are opportunists. If you want to know anything about the Boers during the Boer War, I have a book. Mandela actually read this in prison. They look like fucking tourists because they are. Yeah, they're gonna go back. They're gonna go back home in like 3 months once they realize they can't get biltong, and the black people here will actually shoot you, like for real. Anyways, Commando, a Boer general of the Boer War by Dennis Reitz. And he talks in this book about like this guy's been at. He was literally at every engagement, every battle of the Second Boer War. But he talks about how like he stopped at this town, and like they literally tried to rob him. The Boers tried to rob their own soldiers. DSA elder. I've only been in DSA. I've been in DSA for less than 2 years. I joined in August of 2023, so this August will be my 2nd anniversary. Since y'all were asking about George Jackson, let's read a little bit. So, this is, of course, Blood in My Eye. Save Cincy DSA. What do you mean, save Cincy DSA? I'm not from Cincy. From what I've seen, Cincy is just a more southern St. Louis. So, building consciousness in revolutionary culture against the repressive national defense reflexes of the system means taking realistic day-to-day issues like hunger, the need for clothing and housing, and joblessness. It involves provoking repression, not for its own sake, but to test the strength of the enemy and arouse the rage of the masses. So we feed on repression in that we take every opportunity to show what the enemy is. The fact of political and political economic prisoners and legions, and the processes used by the oppressors to judge and condemn them must be used as the rallying cries of revolution. Economic crime and even crimes of passion against the aggressors must be understood as rebellion. Even funerals can be used as an issue since there will be so many of them. Improvising on reality is the key principle underlying the building of a united left and raising the consciousness of the people. It will give us our tactics. In the Black Colony and other depressed areas of the country, there will be less difficulty in organizing, mobilizing, and altering the attitudes of the people towards their class enemies. However, in the areas of the class structure that can be said to be making it, affecting attitudes towards a revolutionary change in the system of production and distribution will, of course, call for destruction of their comfort. The manufacturing of a condition will then be either neutral or complementary to the revolutionary effort. So, everybody that's dealt with revolution has said this. People with 4 refrigerators, people with 3 cars, they do not make revolution. People with 401ks do not make revolution. Revolution is for the tired, the desperate, and the hungry. So this is the Black Panther Party movement. These are the comrades that you saw. Let's see their history. The Black Panther Party, an African-American revolutionary organization, was established in 1966 in Oakland, California by Huey P. Newton alongside Bobby Seale. The party's initial aim was to patrol African-American communities to safeguard its citizens. This website needs hella proofreading. against instances of police violence. The Panthers gradually evolved into a Marxist revolutionary faction advocating for the armament of all African Americans, exemption from military drafts for black people, and immunity from all punitive measures of so-called white America, along with the liberation of all African Americans incarcerated and the provision of reparations to African Americans for centuries of oppression inflicted by white Americans. At its height in the late 1960s, Black Panther Party membership surpassed 2,000, and the organization maintained chapters in numerous significant American urban centers. Yeah, history that pretty much everybody that watches the stream knows. Like Malcolm X, the Black Panther Party believed that nonviolent protests could not truly liberate black Americans or give us power over our own lives. Truth nuke. They linked the African American liberation movement with liberation movements in Africa and Southeast Asia. The Black Panther Party evolved from a local organization rooted in Oakland to a global movement encompassing chapters across 48 states in North America and allied support groups in countries such as Japan, China, France, England, Germany, Sweden, Mozambique, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Uruguay, and beyond. Oh, the new Black Panther Party. Yeah, not really fans of these guys. Got a few issues. So the new Black Panther Party is a revolutionary organization that was founded in 1989 in Dallas, Texas. A lot of people sleep on Dallas, but Dallas has a lot of revolutionary history. That's where Micah X. Johnson was from. If you don't know who Micah X. Johnson is, but you know who Luigi Mangione is, then you live in a white bubble, my friend. As a self-described continuation of the original Black Panther Party. Like I said earlier, there's like dozens of various Black Panther Party knockoffs in the United States, but none of them seem to really study. I mean, they have eclectic theory, but most of these groups, they don't come from the ideological tradition of the original Black Panther Party. Most of these groups come out of the Nation of Islam, so it's similar. So this is the group that was oriented around Khalid Abdul Muhammad's thinking. Khalid steered the NBPP towards a more Pan-African and race-first ideology, inspired by the Nation of Islam's Fruit of Islam, and Marcus Garvey and the UNIA movement. As national chairman of the new Black Panther Party, Khalid Muhammad would subsequently accelerate the armed self-defense movement like a national wildfire. Malik Zulu Shabazz served as the new Black Panther Party third chairman after the untimely death of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. The group proclaimed its intention to fight for the rights of African Americans and promote self-determination. Its agenda included the advocacy for self-defense against police brutality, the establishment of community programs, and a call for reparations. Okay, so this is basic old-school Black Panther Party shit. The party participated in various demonstrations, often centered on police violence against African Americans and issues affecting black communities. The new Black Panthers garnered significant media attention, especially during high-profile cases of alleged racial injustices, such as the police shooting of unarmed black men. Okay, so they apparently had the propaganda on lock. Then the next chairman would be Hashim Nzinga, who was a well-known Panther who, prior to becoming chairman, regularly accompanied Dr. Khalid as he lectured and battled the overt racism Americanized Africans consistently encountered throughout the country. He soldiered at the NBPP's Million Youth March in Harlem on September 5th, 1998, and the 2005 Millions More movement in Washington, D.C. Jesus, what is this Dr. Evil-ass fit? Well, they definitely have the aesthetics down, if anything else. So who do they look up to? Our great leaders. Okay, so they've got Khalid. I keep wanting to say Khalid Sheikh Muhammad. Okay, he has some fits. So he organized, he pissed off Giuliani by organizing a Million Youth March, which only had 6. Why do you keep calling shit million? Like, do you actually think millions of people are going to show up to this if you only had 6,000 people? That's still a pretty large crowd. So, yeah, you had Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Who else? You had Garvey. All these groups like Garvey. We all know about Garvey. Everybody loves Garvey. You have Ibrahim Traore. You got Fred Hampton, who I'm pretty sure would not be all that big of a fan of this group. You've got Hashim Nzinga. Hashim Akhenaten. You named yourself after an ancient Egyptian heresy. Okay. Why do all these guys dress like villains in a shitty superhero movie from the 2000s? Yes, the new NBPP is still around. Okay, he provided security for notable artists such as Lil Boosie and Webby to keep them from being put in the hospital. You had Pump C and Bun B of UGK and Erykah Badu. Okay. Hoteps hang out with Hoteps. Khalid looks like, no, I look like Morpheus. But yeah, he does. All right. Few videos. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what Khalid has to say. This is the shortest that he has. Oh dear. Why do all of these groups used to look? Our ancestors were from West Africa, bro. Our people came from West Africa. Is it possible that we may have some Egyptian blood? Sure, but like, why are y'all so fascinated with ancient Egypt? Our people were not from that region of the world, bro.
There is no God in the sky.
Bro, what? Did you just come back from your yacht?
And there is no devil under the ground.
Why do people keep wearing military uniforms? You do not have a state. Like, it's a farce. That's one of my main critiques of Garvey. You're walking around with all these fucking costumes and uniforms on. They don't represent, they don't mean anything. You got all these medals on. Like, you don't, what did you do to earn them? What does it represent?
Heaven is not in the sky and hell is not under the ground. Heaven and hell are conditions of the mind, states of existence and states of being. And so Jesus told us to stop looking for heaven in the sky. He said the kingdom of heaven is within you. And that we are the temples of the living principle and law. All of this set in motion by a divine power and a divine force that never dies. It's constant. It just...
He's a very, very good speaker, even though what he's saying is metaphysical trash.
Black man and his woman, the father and the mother of it all, can produce black, can produce brown, can produce red, can produce yellow. And if the seed runs wild or mutates in the womb of the black woman, can even produce an albino, something which is whiter than white, 180 degrees in either direction. Some of you getting ready for Easter, 90 going 100. Lord have mercy. Lord child. Lord.
Looks like I ran off some of them white folks.
Oh, Jesus. It's Easter. You getting ready to get your big hat with the cherries and bananas and all stuff on top. And your Easter dress and your Easter shoes and your Easter suit. You wearing silk and satin and Oochie and Poochie and Gucci. And if you can't afford that, you're wearing the twins, Polly and Esther, for Easter. Who was Easter? This is genocide. This is a part of the Holocaust. Who was Easter? Easter is an old white sex god.
I'm done. Yeah. All power to you, Unc, but yeah, weird. So this has aroused quite a bit of discussion in DSA circles. So this is an article in Zenith produced by Red Star, our very own Marxist-Leninist caucus. So very, very few people in DSA I've noticed have engaged with settlers. Maybe because they are settlers and it hurts their feelings, but good. Settlers need to have hurt feelings. Ishtar. Ishtar is Babylonian. Babylonians were not white. They weren't black, but they weren't white. They're brown. Like me. It's hilarious how, like, black people in the United States are called black, but, like, most of us are brown. Like, bro. And yet, we call the Latinos brown. They call us moreno, which means brown. So, of course you've read Settlers, Max, and you're a quirked up little white boy. Black people and brown people black people and Latinos just alternate between calling each other brown. I was like, I think one of my Spanish teachers told us that. Like, she's like, why do y'all call yourselves black? Black in Spanish is negro. We call y'all morenos, which means brown. And then we call y'all brown. Like, everybody brown. Anyways, Brown or not brown, let's dig in. As DSA continues to grow and grapple with its role in building a multiracial socialist movement, Jay Sakai's Settlers, the Mythology of the White Proletariat, offers an incisive critique and a crucial lens for understanding the challenges of organizing within a settler society. It's good that Red Star realizes that we live in a settler society. This is something that could have been written by a DSA Liberation member. Everybody in Red Star, join Liberation. Through our analysis of settlers, we seek to understand the ways in which our position within a global hegemon and our history as a privileged class affect our organizing, and why and how the U.S. working class has such a vested material interest in the racism ingrained in our history, even under the veneer. Main critique: the U.S. working class has never, ever, ever been majority white. You should have said the U.S. white working class. We were literally, you know what the first real working class in the United States was? Black people. We were literally brought over to be the working class. Racial class in the United States. In Settlers, Jay Sakai argues an alternate thesis to the common Western reactionary so-called socialist one. Within the settler colonial United States, common working class interests are overwritten by the imperialist contradictions between oppressor and internally oppressed nations. Drawing on the frameworks of imperialism stretching back to Marx's own writing and combining it with the new left racial lens, Sakai presents an analysis of the complex and contradictory class position of the United States working class that draws distinctions on the incentives and treatments of the class along racial lines. U.S. imperialism creates and enforces an extractivist economic relationship between the imperial core, centered on the United States, while also including other ally first world countries such as those of Western Europe and the imperial periphery, the colonies, and later the neo-colonies of the global South. While the U.S. capitalist class extracts profit from the exploitation of its own domestic working class, it also extracts super profit from the working class of the rest of the world. This super profit, money looted from the global South via unequal commodity exchange and lack of productive parity, does not all stay in the hands of the ruling class. Instead, it is circulated through the whole domestic economy, and some parts of it are distributed to the working class of the imperial core. The particulars of this circulation and distribution, specifically the racialized differences, is where Sakai's analysis is focused. This is extremely important because a lot of white DSA comrades, they stumble over this fact. They think that, why can't we all just get along? And they love this multiracial working class thing. Yes, the working class in the United States is multiracial, but things always lead, right? There's always a primary. The primary contradiction is that most of the wealth in this country has come from the exploitation, this super profit derived from non-settler, oppressed nationality workers. The white workers, they sit on top of the pyramid in most cases. Of course, if you go to Appalachia, shit's a little more complicated. But Appalachia is complicated. Appalachia is a special case. Maybe I will have an Appalachia on to discuss Appalachia. I want to hear about the mountains. Distribution of super profit takes a variety of forms. Some come in the form of social services and public goods. The redistribution of imperial super profits forms the backbone of American social democracies. This is why if you look up to these social democratic regimes, if you look up to Sweden, Norway, like ALC does, the Netherlands, the UK, first of all, most of these countries still have kings. Denmark, these countries still have fucking monarchies. So how are they revolutionary socialist countries if they haven't fucking did what the French did? Others come in the form of higher wages, a greater personal debt ceiling, and increased standards of living. With excess money from the spoils of imperialism, capitalists are able to raise wages between the minimum needed to sustain the life of a worker without endangering their margins. Though this is not always the case in a time of crisis, see the collapse of the middle class. This creates a new dimension of class distinction exclusively within the imperial core, that of the imperialist beneficiary, who receives super profits and thereby benefits from imperialism and has something to lose if it ends. This is a big, big thing. Who receives super profits and thereby benefits from imperialism. This is why whenever we talk about working around reforms, whenever we talk about more free shit for whitey, we have to think about from whom. Where is this coming from? Is it coming from prison labor? Is it coming from super profits extracted from Mexican or Salvadoreño or Hondureño or Boricua workers in these horrible, shitty migrant camps? Do you have any idea how expensive food would be if it were not for Latino migrants? Do you have any idea? No. And if it's not Latino migrants, it is prison labor. You don't see no white folks out in the fields no more. They used to be sharecroppers back in the day, but not no more. They get sunburned. So if you talk about reforms and you do not keep this in the back of your mind, you are engaging in social fascism. Sakai designates this stratum of American workers, those imperialist beneficiaries who directly receive their benefits in the form of increased wages, as labor aristocrats. This segment of the population, he argues, through social bribery, has some investment in the capitalist system, as they both receive a material benefit and have the worst edges of capitalism's repression against them blunted. This is more expansive than the more contemporary use of the phrase labor aristocrat that focuses more exclusively on a strata of labor bureaucracy, i.e. a union leader not truly seeking the best for his constituents. Consider, an undocumented migrant from Mexico working on a farm in California may benefit from significantly higher wages as compared to before immigrating, but is reminded constantly of their class position by sub-minimum wages, harassment from the police and border patrol, and exclusion from citizenship. Compare this to a white American-born, well-subsidized Midwestern farmer who has nothing to fear from the capitalist state and enjoys a far higher access to credit for equipment, the social possibility of renting fields for their own work from larger farmers, etc. Both are working class, both are in the same industry, and yet their class positions, their relationship to capitalism, imperialism, and the capitalist state differ. These economically enforced racial divisions form the basis of racial class, where racial antagonism is embedded in the social relations of our class system. This does not mean that white Americans cannot be working class. And Sakai never says that white Americans cannot be working class, nor that we should accept the defeatist third worldist position that finds no hope in organizing the working class in the imperial core. Rather, it means that there is a contradiction between multiple aspects of U.S. class position, between that of an exploited wage-earning proletariat and that of a recipient of superprofits, the incentive system of imperialism. Reforms within the U.S. imperial capitalism at their core are a redirection of a portion of capitalist profit toward a section of the working class. When we campaign for a Green New Deal, we are not asking for an end to imperial superprofits, or a transformation of the Western-bent supply chain that builds the new power production. Instead, we ask merely that once profit has been extracted from the global south and brought to the U.S., that it can be used to benefit us. In short, more free shit for Whitey. When we form a union at a multinational company and demand higher wages, we are not asking that that company stop earning money from global exploitation. We are instead asking that more of that money go for us. This hurt a lot of Green New Deal electoral and labor organizers' feelings. That hurt a lot of their fucking feelings because it's true. And yeah, nobody likes feeling that their work, or being made to feel that their work is all for naught. Nobody likes feeling that they are an agent of imperialism. Nobody likes feeling like a beggar. But look, we're in trouble in this country. We're in trouble in this world. Soft, sweet delusions, time out for that. It's not playtime no more. This is real fucking life. This is actually what's happening. All this, and you know, one thing I've noticed, I have rarely met a proletarian who was raised proletarian, God forbid a lumpen proletarian, that believes that elections are a way to change, who believes that all we have to do is organize a fucking union. Nobody who came up working class believes that. Nobody. So it's actually an inverse of the common rightist myth that all of us Maoists, all of us MLs are just spoiled fucking kids who like tearing shit up. No. Revolution is rooted in the real proletariat. The people that they're trying to organize are not even really proletarian. Labor aristocrats, professional managerial class people are not proletarians. They're not. This type of more for me organizing forms the basis of reformism. For a stratum of white middle-class Americans who form the pool from which a labor aristocracy is drawn, the opportunity to demand these changes and move towards the rank of privileged imperialist beneficiaries is more readily available. The New Deal is arguably the largest example of such a reformist project domestically. Often celebrated as a successful case of progressive triumph, the New Deal was, in reality, a bourgeois project designed to preserve the capitalist system, or deal both the proletariat and bourgeoisie a new hand in the face of crisis. When Mussolini wrote to Roosevelt, he literally described the New Deal as a type of fascist program. Yes. As Sakai argues, the American working class has historically been divided along racial lines. Sakai didn't either argue that. That's common fucking sense. And the New Deal perpetuated this settler-colonial logic by excluding agricultural and domestic workers, disproportionately black and brown workers, from its protections, while extending concessions to the white working class to secure their loyalty to the capitalist state. What a fucking sellout. So, labor strategy. DSA's labor strategy often falls into the trap of tailing these economistic interests. What is economism? Economism is not organizing for economic reforms solely, okay? Economism is when you think that's the revolution. If you are a labor organizer, that does not necessarily make you a dyed-in-the-wool economist. It does mean that you're at risk for it, though. Yeah. Because those are the people that you're around. If you work for SEIU, of course you're going to think that unions are the center of the world because you literally work for a fucking union, bro. But economism would be acting as if all we have to do is organize unions and get little penny ante ass dollar raises, $1.25 raises, and get a better fucking contract. And that's all you got to do. No. As I said before, you have to tie in the struggle to the global analysis. You cannot be a great nation chauvinist. All we care about is American workers. Like, why the fuck have you not criticized the UAW, which has not, like, people are literally, would literally follow Sean Fain off a fucking cliff, and yet, why haven't they divested from Israel? If the Episcopal Church can do it, the UAW can. That's why back in the day, black American workers who worked for the who worked at factories that were organized by the UAW, they literally said that these people didn't give a shit about them. UAW was basically a Jim Crow union. The slogan was UAW stands for You Ain't White. And they were treated like shit. They got the shit tier jobs. They got the shit tier details. And very, very few black people were allowed to become shop stewards. There were none that actually were, that actually profited all that much. There is a reason why the white U.S. left has always fetishized the social democratic projects of Western Europe. Here is a project that they see themselves in, the most extreme example of social bribery, a political project defined by granting its small enclaves of citizens economic security, high standards of living, and an extensive social safety net. European social democracy has consistently failed to challenge the imperialist and colonial structures that sustain global capitalism. Like, a lot of people look up to France and all these other places, like, look, ask an African about France. Ask an African about France. If your thoughts, Jesus, I have 666 viewers. 667. Thank you, whoever just popped in. Yeah, fucking curse my stream. The U.S. socialists that valorize these projects fail to understand their reliance on imperialism and the profit it brings to support its white citizens. Or connect this with its acceptance and integration of the global racial class system that perpetuates their own favor of racism to keep non-whites away from their imperialist spoils. Gato Michicano, League of Revolutionary Black Workers were goats. I highly look forward to you establishing the League of Revolutionary Brown Workers. That was a joke. So let's talk about our reformist addiction. Let's talk about our copium, our hopium, and our dopium. This is atrocious. These are the racial demographics of DSA that have been taken from the DSA 2021 member survey report. So 1% of our organization was black in 91, shortly after the organization's founding. And so 2013, 2017. These are the Mike Brown years. These are the fucking Eric Gardner years. These are the Baltimore Uprising years. Like, a lot of shit. These are the Trump years. The largest socialist organization in the United States. Black people are literally the vehicle through which socialism is carried in the United States. W.B. Du Bois said that in Marxism and the Negro Question. And the largest socialist organization in the United States would experience a bump, right? Like, people are always talking about Bernie brought so many people to DSA. Apparently not many black people. 2016, that was the first time Bernie Sanders ran. Look, 2% black, 2% black. Bernie Sanders didn't bring any black people into the DSA because black people do not follow fucking Bernie Sanders. So there are more Hispanics and Asians in DSA than there are black people. The Middle East, the Middle Eastern percentage, I'd love to see what those numbers are now. after the atrocious treatment of the Palestine Solidarity Working Group in 2022. Indigenous people, only 2%. Multi-ethnic, 9%. Most of these people are probably mixed with black. So maybe the writers are going to start counting the multi-ethnic people. Who knows? And you also have aliens who apparently have no ethnicity, so they're 3%. DSA's politics reflect its class composition. As the white middle class are the primary beneficiaries of reformism, Bernie Sanders did run away when BLM tried to ambush him. Some of the people in his rallies were literally calling for the black female organizers in Seattle to be tased. Fuck Bernard Shambles. As the white middle class are the primary beneficiaries of reformism, they're also its primary advocates. DSA's work often focuses largely around reform campaigns and marginalizes or shuts out other kinds of organizing. This creates a feedback loop as members of DSA's existing base interested in reformist-style organizing are drawn into the organization. Because this strategy is viable and attractive for DSA's base, the organization has no reason to push beyond reformism. Yeah, 100% true. 100% true. And like, as somebody that like, when I talk to other black organizers, when I talk to people who have been around DSA, like most of them either have horror stories or they just don't bother. See, here's the thing with black people. Here's the thing with a lot of colonized people. We get enough of white people in our day-to-day life. We're not going to suffer white bullshit, white microaggressions or shit, white macroaggressions, white mega aggressions in our free time, in our time that we use for organizing. We're not going to do that. We don't have to. All African People's Revolutionary Party exists. The group that I just talked about exists, although I'm probably not going to join them. The Black Women's Defense League exists. All types of many black organizations exist. Community movement builders exist. The Young Lords organization. All this, so many organizations. And it's like people have the nerve to say, well, identity organizing is not all that. Yes, it is. Well, you know why? Because black people's identity, our identity as black people, our class as black, is why we suffer. We don't suffer. Y'all don't suffer like us. Y'all never suffer like us. Y'all never have suffered like us in this country. I don't care what happened over in Europe. Over here, y'all ain't never suffered like black people. Never. So yes, our blackness is extremely important because we have been oppressed because of our blackness. And people get pressed when we try to liberate ourselves on the basis of our blackness under a socialist perspective, of course. That's why people don't hang out with y'all. That's why people do not join DSA. Nobody's going to pay money to be abused. Nobody's going to pay dues. Nobody's going to sign up for solidarity dues to go to all white meetings. Why would they do that? We get paid fucking less than y'all anyways, and y'all want our dues money to come to all white meetings, to be microaggressed against, to be stymied, to have our organizing wrecked. Why the fuck would we do that? We don't have to. Me personally, I'd rather give my money to a black organization, but here I sit. So how do we decolonize DSA? Decenter itself in your own interests. Decenter yourself in its own interests. Stop thinking that your own little fucking white bubble is all that exists. Just quit going to the same fucking bars in the same gentrified ass neighborhoods, doing the same old shit, running the same ass losing ass electoral campaigns, doing the same failed attempts at union opportunism. Like, that shit doesn't work. Ain't nobody got time for that. And he never even knew who Bernie was. Heard him on the radio, but couldn't tell his age, and he always said, yeah. I never was a Bernie bro. I never really was a Bernie bro. There's a white Bernie bro. He used to sit next to me in one of my African American studies classes, and he kept talking up the dude to me. I'm like, bro, just shut the fuck up. Like, don't tell. An old ass white man is not going to bring socialism to the United States. I'm sorry. Why would they? An old ass white man who thinks that Israel has the right to exist is not going to bring socialism to the United States. You know who is going to bring socialism to the United States? Dochi. I'm Black Redgar.